you have an assignment due in a week. Your brain says, do an hour a day, easy. But another part of your brain immediately jumps to fail this assignment, fail the class, fail school, never graduate, never get a job, starve to death. So what does your brain do? Avoids the work entirely? Makes perfect sense, right? Wrong! But this is actually happening inside your head right now. This whole mess comes down to two parts of your brain in constant battle: the prefrontal cortex and the limbic system. Logic versus panic, planning versus everything is on fire right now. The limbic system is ancient. It's been around since animals first crawled out of the ocean. Your prefrontal cortex, that's recent. Brand new in evolutionary terms. And when these two fight, the old one almost always wins. Here's why. The limbic system is your emotional brain. It's massive. It's fast. It's been keeping your ancestors alive for millions of years. The prefrontal cortex is your thinking brain. Logical, smart, but weak. So when you sit down to work, your thinking brain says, this assignment is due in 7 days. We'll do an hour each day, problem solved. Rational, simple, effective. But your emotional brain doesn't see it that way at all. It sees threat, immediate threat, and it starts running scenarios. Fail this assignment. That tanks your grade, fail the class, academic probation, dropout, no degree, no job, no money, homelessness, starvation. All of this hits your brain as if it's happening right now. Not in a week, not maybe, right now. And the thing causing this threat, the work sitting in front of you. So your limbic system does what it's designed to do, sends out massive alarm signals, avoid the threat, get away from the work. Immediately, your prefrontal cortex tries to calm things down, tries to explain that everything is fine. But it's like a lightweight trying to stop a freight train. And here's the worst part. Your thinking brain usually gives up and joins the other side. It starts creating logical sounding reasons why procrastinating is actually the smart choice. But anxiety isn't the only reason Panic Monster loses his mind. Sometimes the work just looks hard, really hard. Your brain sees a 20-page research paper and immediately thinks, nope, not today, maybe never. So instead of taking the first step, your brain just shuts down entirely. Or maybe it's something worse. Maybe you're scared that if you actually try your best and still fail, there's no excuse left. If you procrastinate and fail, you can blame the procrastination. Oh, I would have done great if I actually studied it. It keeps the dream alive, but if you study hard and still bomb the test, that's just your fundamental inability to succeed. And that's terrifying. This is called self-handicapping. You create obstacles for yourself so that if you fail, you have a built-in excuse. It protects your ego. Then there's perfectionism. Your brain says, I can't start this until I have the perfect plan, the perfect environment, the perfect mood, the perfect playlist, the perfect snack. And guess what? Perfect never comes, so you never start. But let's be honest. Most of the time, the work is just boring. Your homework about economic policies isn't competing with slightly less boring homework. It's competing with infinite entertainment specifically designed by algorithms, videos of people falling off ladders, drama between influencers, a documentary about sharks. Anything is better than starting that essay. Your brain runs a cost-benefit analysis. Boring work now for a good grade in 3 weeks, or immediate dopamine hit. The brain picks sandwiches every single time. All of this boils down to one simple thing: self-regulation failure. Your brain is so obsessed with repairing your current mood that it completely abandons future you. Here's where things get really stupid. Your brain is absolutely terrible at predicting how it's going to feel in the future. When you decide to put off a task, your brain makes a guess. It assumes that when it's time to do that task again tomorrow or next week or in 3 hours, it'll feel differently about it. But here's the thing. Your brain is basing this prediction on how it feels right now. And right now, the task feels awful, stressful, overwhelming, hard. So why would your brain think it'll feel better about it later? Because of what happens the exact moment you decide to procrastinate. Relief, sweet, beautiful relief. You're not doing the hard thing anymore. The stress is gone, you feel good, and your brain, being the idiot that it is, thinks this good feeling is what future you will feel when approaching the task again. This whole broken system can be summed up in 6 words that have probably ruined your life multiple times. I'll feel like doing this later. You won't. You absolutely will not feel like doing it later. In fact, you'll probably feel worse about it because now there's less time and more pressure. But your brain doesn't learn. It falls for this every single time. It's like watching someone touch a hot stove, get burned, and then immediately reach for it again while saying, yeah, but maybe this time will be different. The good news? There are 2 ways to fix this broken prediction system. First method, time travel, which isn't a joke, just a boring name that scientists gave it because apparently they're not allowed to have fun. The idea is simple. You force yourself to actually imagine What it'll feel like when you have to do that task in the future? Really picture it. The stress, the panic, the regret. You realize that future you isn't going to be magically motivated. Future you is going to be just as miserable as present you, except with less time and more consequences. The problem with this method? Sometimes your brain gets confused and releases the happy chemicals that come from completing work even though you didn't actually do the work. You just imagined doing it, and now your brain thinks the job is done. Congratulations, you just tricked yourself into procrastinating more. Also, the name is terrible. Time travel? Really? That's what we're going with? Second method, assume you're wrong, which honestly should just be your default setting for everything your brain tells you. This method is way more reliable because your brain's predictions about future motivation are almost always wrong. Your brain says, I'll want to do this later. You assume that's a lie because it is. It's always a lie. This method doesn't have a catchy name either. Scientists really dropped the ball on the marketing here, but now you've got a new problem. You've realized that the work is going to suck now and it's going to suck later. There's no escape, and that's depressing. So what now? So you're stuck. The work sucks now. It'll suck later. Your brain is actively sabotaging you. Cool. Great. What are you supposed to do? Well, you could try willpower. Just force yourself to work. Grit your teeth. Power through the pain. Be disciplined. Channel your inner Navy SEAL or whatever motivational Instagram accounts tell you to do, except willpower is a scam. It doesn't work. Well, it works for like 20 minutes and then completely abandons you. Scientists literally tested this with cookies because apparently when you get a research grant, you're legally required to involve cookies. They put hungry people in a room. Some got to eat cookies. Some had to just sit there and look at cookies like a psychopath. Then they gave everyone tasks that needed focus and self-control. And guess what? The cookie eaters crushed it. The non-cookie eaters, they fell apart. Their willpower was already spent on not eating the cookies. This is what you're doing when you rely on willpower. You're that person staring at cookies, using up all your mental energy, just trying not to check your phone. And then when it's time to actually work, you've got nothing left. Your brain is empty. Game over. So yeah, you might force yourself to work from 10 to noon through pure determination and spite. But after lunch, your productivity is going to nosedive faster than your motivation on a Sunday evening. Willpower is like phone battery. You wake up at 100%, and then every decision drains it a little. Should I hit snooze? Drain. Should I check Instagram? Drain. Should I eat healthy or get a burrito? Drain. By the time you actually need to work, you're at 3% and your brain is asking if you want to enable low power mode. But here's the good news. Scientists found something that actually works. They took those same cookie-deprived, willpower-drained people and taught them one simple trick. And suddenly these people were performing just as well as the cookie eaters. Doctors hate them. I'm kidding. Doctors don't care. But this trick is called implementation intentions, and it's stupidly effective. Here's how it works. You treat yourself like a computer program. You write if-then statements for your behavior. If X happens, then I do Y. No thinking, no debating, just automatic responses. Normal procrastination looks like this. You're working, you hit a hard part, your brain goes, should we push through this or take a little break? And in that tiny moment of hesitation, your emotional brain crashes through the wall like the Kool-Aid man and screams, break, definitely break, and then it's over. You've lost. Implementation intentions remove that moment completely. There is no should I? There's no debate. You already decided what you're doing back when your brain was working properly. Now you're just following the script. It's like this. If I think this is too hard, then I will continue working anyway. It sounds insultingly simple. It sounds like something a guidance counselor would suggest right before telling you to just believe in yourself, but it works. Like actually works. Scientifically proven, peer-reviewed, published in journals works, but you can't half commit to this. You can't just say, if I procrastinate, then I won't procrastinate. That's not a strategy. That's just wishful thinking with extra steps. You need to get specific, annoyingly specific. First, figure out your exact procrastination trigger, not when I don't feel like working. That's everyone. What's the specific thought that makes you stop? Is it this is boring? Is it I don't know how to do this? Is it I'll just check my phone real quick? Next time you're about to procrastinate, catch yourself. Write down that exact thought, word for word. That's your if statement. That's the enemy. Then write your then statement. The exact physical actions you need to take to start working. Not vague stuff like focus better. Actual steps. Open laptop, open document. Read first sentence out loud, type one word. Make it so specific that a robot could follow the instructions. So your full implementation intention might be, if I think I should check my phone, then I will place my phone face down across the room, open my laptop, and type the first sentence of my outline. No wiggle room. No interpretation. just actions. You're basically hacking your brain. You're sneaking past the emotional part that wants to derail you. You're not giving it a chance to argue because the decision is already made. Your brain can't fight what it doesn't see coming. Okay, so you did it. You actually started working. You used your implementation intention. You outsmarted your own brain. You're sitting there being productive like a functional member of society. Congratulations. But now there's a new problem. Because starting the work is only round one, staying focused, that's the boss fight. You're working on your essay, you're doing great, you're in the zone, and then you have a question, a tiny question. Oh wait, what year did this thing happen? So you open Google, innocent enough, you type in your question, you get your answer, cool. Back to work. Except 2 hours later, you're 7 Wikipedia articles, deep reading about the most overpowered characters in Super Smash Bros., and you have absolutely no idea how you got here. This is the mid-work ambush. You think you're safe because you already started, but your brain is patient. It's waiting. And the moment you give it an opening, it strikes. The good news? Implementation intentions work here too. You can set them up for mid-work distractions. If I open Google and my question is answered, then I immediately close Google and return to my document. If I pick up my phone to check the time, then I put it back down without unlocking it. If I think I'll just watch one video, then I will close the tab and read the next paragraph of my work out loud. You're basically putting guardrails on your brain. It's like those bumpers at a bowling alley that stop you from throwing gutter balls, except instead of bowling balls, it's your attention span, and instead of gutters, it's a 40-minute video essay about why some cartoon from 2003 was actually genius. But some distractions are trickier than others, and the trickiest one is your phone. Your phone is designed by the smartest engineers in the world to be as addictive as possible. They have teams of psychologists figuring out exactly how to keep you hooked. You are not going to out-willpower a device that's been optimized by billions of dollars in research to steal your attention, so don't fight it, just eliminate it. This is tool number 2, elimination. Remove the temptation entirely. Put your phone on, do not disturb, not vibrate, not silent, do not disturb. Then put it somewhere you can't see it. You know, in a drawer, in your bag, in another room, buried in the backyard. I don't care, just get it away from you. And I already know what you're thinking. But what if there's an emergency? Okay, first of all, what emergency? What emergency is going to happen that requires you specifically? You're not a doctor, you're not a firefighter, you're not the only person who knows how to defuse a bomb. If there's a real emergency, there are people whose actual job is to handle it. And second, people survived for thousands of years without being reachable every single second. Your ancestors fought woolly mammoths without checking their phones every 5 minutes. You can handle 2 hours offline. This logic also applies to your computer. If you don't need the internet for your work, disconnect it. Turn off Wi-Fi, unplug the router, throw your laptop out the window. Okay, don't do that last one. Laptops are expensive, but you get the point. Remove distractions before they have a chance to distract you. You can't rely on self-control to ignore the distraction. You need to make the distraction not exist in the first place. It's like trying to diet while surrounded by cake. Just don't have cake in the house. Problem solved. Delete the apps, block the websites, hide the devices, make being distracted harder than just continuing to work. Because here's the truth. Your brain is lazy. It takes the path of least resistance. If scrolling through your phone requires getting up, walking to another room, unlocking a drawer, and entering a passcode, your brain will just give up and keep working. Too much effort. But if your phone is right there on the desk, lighting up with notifications, your brain doesn't even have to think about it. Your hand just reaches over automatically like it's being controlled by an outside force. So make the productive choice the easy choice, and make the distraction choice incredibly annoying. All right, we've covered the science, we've covered the tactics, implementation intentions, eliminating distractions, pre-programming your brain like a smart thermostat. But there's one last thing, and it's not really a tool, it's just advice. Important advice that people hate hearing because it sounds like participation trophy nonsense. Go easy on yourself. I know, that sounds like something a poster with a cat hanging from a tree branch would say, but stay with me because there's actual research behind this. Scientists studied procrastinators. Shocker, I know, finally, someone is looking out for us. They found that people who forgive themselves for procrastinating are way more likely to actually stop procrastinating in the future. The people who beat themselves up, they just procrastinate more because now they're not just avoiding the work, they're avoiding the guilt and shame that comes with the work. Here's what happens. You procrastinate, you feel terrible about it, you call yourself lazy, you wonder why you can't just be normal and get things done like everyone else. You spiral into self-loathing. And then your brain goes, wow, thinking about this work makes me feel awful about myself. Better avoid it forever. Congratulations! You just created a feedback loop of failure. But if you forgive yourself, if you just accept that you procrastinated, it sucked, and you'll try to do better next time, Your brain doesn't build up that negative association. The work is just work. It's not a referendum on your value as a human being. This doesn't mean give yourself permission to procrastinate. This isn't, it's okay, you tried your best, here's a gold star. This is, you messed up, it happens, move on. Because here's the thing, you're not going to be perfect. You're going to procrastinate sometimes. Everyone does. Everyone. That person you think has their life together, they're procrastinating right now. They're probably watching this video when they should be doing something else. The difference between chronic procrastinators and successful people isn't that successful people never procrastinate. It's that they don't let one episode of procrastination turn into a complete meltdown. They don't think, well, I already wasted 3 hours, might as well waste the whole day. They just go, okay, that happened, back to work. That's it. That's the secret. It's not discipline. It's not motivation. It's just damage control and moving forward. You procrastinated today? Fine. You're procrastinating right now by watching this? Also fine. Beating yourself up about it isn't going to help. It's just going to make your emotional brain more convinced that work equals feeling terrible. So cut yourself some slack, not because you deserve a break, but because being mean to yourself is actively making the problem worse. You're not lazy. You're not broken. Your brain is just running ancient software that wasn't designed for modern problems, and now you know how to work around it. Implementation intentions to automate good decisions, elimination to remove temptations before they happen, and self-compassion so you don't turn a small setback into a complete disaster. That's it. That's how you beat procrastination. Well, not beat it. You're never going to completely beat it. You're going to procrastinate sometimes for the rest of your life, but now you'll procrastinate less and you'll recover faster. And honestly, that's pretty good.